Alright, so in this video we're going to be looking at Google Docs, but a lot of the stuff that I'm going to show you that is in Google Docs is actually going to be the same across Google Slides and Google Drawings and also in Google Sheets and a few other of Google's applications. So I'm going to start here. We'll just notice we're at the Docs homepage. See that up here in the top left hand corner. If I select here, you can actually see I can switch between Docs, Sheets, Slides and Forms. Click out of that. You can up here search through just your documents. And you can also, on the right over here, you've got your 9 dots, which allows you to launch your other applications. The next level is what is called the template gallery. So here, if I click on this, we can expand out our template gallery. These are my specific templates. There's only one in there at the moment. If I go to general though, you can see there's lots of general templates that you can automatically select and use as you choose to use docs. Now, if I go back to my ones, I can also add new ones. So if I click submit a template, I can then select any document that I have already that is a Google document. So it can't be a Word document or anything like that. Okay. And I can just select that document. So let's scroll down here. TED Masterclass, for example, if I select that and click open, I can submit a copy of it as a template, or I can submit the original, which means that whenever I edit the original, the template will change as well. And you have to select a category for your templates, and you can add more categories by asking your Google admin to add new categories to your Google Docs templates. You'll also see down the bottom a list of all the documents that I've used, and it basically is ordered by most recent, but you can choose any of these to filter through by and have it sorted that way. Let's launch a blank one. So in the blank one, I'm going to go ahead on the right here and click this drop down so that I can actually see the menus and the title and those types of things as well. So up the top here is the title of my document. Now I can write the title straight in there, or if the first thing I do is give this a title, so let's call this our test document, and then press enter. If I then come up here and click there, it will automatically put the first words in here as the document name anyway. Up here you can also see that I can star the document, and this file will allow me to sort the document. So by clicking on this, I now am in my drive, and I can sort through and stick it elsewhere in my drive. If I want to go and put it in a shared drive, I click back, here are my shared drives, or I can stick it onto a computer if I like, etc. Other aspects that you want to see up the top here, if we go to File, you can share the document through File. You can open a new document or spreadsheet, etc., or a drawing. You can open an old one. You can make a copy of this document if you like. If you go to Download As, and you can select which type of format you would like to download the document as to your computer. You can email this straight as an attachment. So if I want to email this to one of my friends, I would click that. It would launch Gmail within here, and so I can attach it as a PDF or any other kind of document and type who it's going to go to, subject and message, etc. as well. I can also make it available offline so that it will download a copy to my computer that I can use. I can see the version history, which I will show you on another document. I can rename the document, move it to the trash. I can publish it to the web, which means lots of other people will be able to access it. Once I've shared it, I can then email collaborators. So if I've been working on a document together with other people and I've just made a few changes, I can click email collaborators and it will send them an email, and I can quickly jot down the things that I have changed. I can go here for document details. I can change the language of the document, and I can also change the page setup. Now in page setup, generally choose between portrait and landscape, and last of all, I can print. If I shift over to edit, undo, this is all the same very much as Word. If you're used to that, find and replace is there as well. View just changes the way that I'm having to look at things. It's currently in print layout view. You can change that. I can change the mode here too, so that rather than actually writing in my mode in terms of editing, I could just do suggestions, which means that what I write will come up in a different color, or I can view it so that I don't actually type in it at all. At the moment I can see the ruler, but I can turn that off or on. I can show the document outline, which uses the headings that you use throughout the document to then create a contents page. There's an equation bar that you can show. You can show section breaks as well. Here we're inserting images. Now you'll notice here that when you insert an image, you can upload it from your computer, you You can find it by link or from your drive or straight from a camera from your photos. You can also just search the web and that will launch up here on your right. And so if I want to find a frog, here are all the images of a frog that I can just insert, and these will all be commons images. So I know I'm not breaching any copyright by using these in my documents. I can close that there. Other things we can insert in a document are tables. And here, drag it across to the right. The further you go, the more it will put in, up to 20, and then you go down, and then you just click it, and in it goes. Other things that we can insert a drawing. You can choose to insert a new one or to insert one you've already done. And we're going to have a look at drawings later, but you'll see here that you can do them within your document as well. You can also add charts, so if you want a bar chart, a column chart, line, etc. And these can be linked to a live sheet. So if you want to import a chart that's actually in one of your spreadsheets already, you can import that straight in here, and then if it's out of date, it'll come up with a little button on it, and you click the button and it will update that chart for you according to the data that's in that sheet. You can insert horizontal lines, insert your footnote if you like. So if I want a footnote, it'll come down here, insert my footnote. There are special characters just like you do with Word. There's your equations that you can put in. If you want to have a look at your header and footer, or you want to stick in the page number and the page count in there. If you want to put in a break, you can put in a page break, or you can put in a section break. Okay, so depending on which one of those you'd like to use. You can also use the link function here. You can comment on something provided you've highlighted it. You can make something a bookmark. And of course, you can create a table of contents. So that can be with the page numbers on the right or without the page numbers, and the whole thing is just linked itself. If we go over to formatting, this is all much the same as Word: text, paragraphs, alignments, spacing, how many columns you want, bullets and numbers, headers and footers, tables. You can clear the formatting, etc. Here are your tools. Again, very similar. You can do spelling and grammar and word counts. You can review suggested edits. So if someone's gone through and said that you should change a few things, you can go through them gradually. You can click Explore. Explore is a really great thing that I'm going to show you a bit later, that is in all of Google Documents as well, Google Docs, Sheets, Slides. You can link objects. So you can find some linked objects. You can use your dictionary. You can translate the document, which is really good when you need to communicate. For example, if you're writing a letter home to parents and your parents don't speak English, you can translate the document into another language. There's also voice typing if you'd like to use that. Basically, voice typing will bring up this little button. Make sure when you're using this, you select the right language. So we have Australian English, Canadian English, etc. So select the English that most applies to you, and then you just click here to speak. So click. And then as you continue to talk, it will notice that you're talking and put down those words for you. Really good for students who struggle to write and type, if they need to keep up with you or to make notes for your students, if you're looking to save some time. Furthermore, in our tools, we have script editor. That's for more high level things. It's probably not where you're going to start an introduction level, but script editor will, if you know anything about HTML, will bring up the HTML aspects where you can then edit what happens. For example, you can put in a pop-up that will pop up on the screen when someone opens this document. You can change the preferences. So these are our preferences for what happens in our documents. So automatically capitalizing words. These are just basically all of your automatic spell checks and those types of things. There's accessibility settings as well. So if you click on this, you can turn on screen reader support. So tick that. If you want to turn on Braille support, this works with third-party Braille hardware if you have that at all. Or turn on collaborator announcements. And you can also turn on screen magnifier support, which also works with third-party. You can see here, so if you want to learn more about screen magnifying and those types of things, you just need to click on these and you can find out more, or click here and find out more. But if you turn on screen reader, it'll then read stuff to us if we ask it to. And we'll have accessibility up here. So we can speak, comment, provide footnotes, headings, etc. So this is all here, and it's about accessibility there. And then last, you have your activity dashboard, which basically is just going to tell you who the last people were who used it, how much it gets used, all of past comments that used to be on the document or still are on the document, who it's been shared with, and all the different privacy settings that have been selected for this document. That's all for tools. We then move on to add-ons. So add-ons are like extensions that we had for Chrome, but now add-ons are specifically for documents or specifically for sheets, for example. And so here we can use something like consistency checker to make sure that we're constantly using the right terms, maybe throughout the document. If we had a document that we wanted to convert to a Google form, which would then allow us to ask questions and quiz our students, that's there. If it's something you need to sign, dotted signature is great. And there's all these other things in here. If you want to find some, just click Get Add-ons. And here are all the different add-ons, and you can search through these for whichever ones you are particularly looking for. So easy accents, for example, if you want to be able to do that. You can also find various templates and stuff in here as well. Finally, there's our help button. This allows us to find docs help, to get some training on docs. It'll show us what the updates are that have recently happened to a doc, in case this training, for example, will be outdated soon, because Google will update docs as they regularly do. You can report a problem, or you can report any kind of abuse or copyright as well, and then find out all the keyboard shortcuts here for things like hyperlinking, copying and pasting, etc. So that's essentially your menu. Once you're actually down in the document, there are a few things that are worth noticing. So here, this is my test document. I would like that to actually be a heading for the document. So if I go here where it says normal text, I can make it a title, a subtitle, heading. Now if I use headings, headings are what then create this document over here, which is my document outline. Okay, and this is essentially going to be like your contents page, and if you ask this to insert a contents page, it will insert basically your document outline as a contents page with hyperlinks throughout your document. Now there's also all of our other things here: undo, redo, print, spell checking and grammar, paint formats. That's if we want to do any kind of paint format. So highlight that and it just changes the formatting. Okay, click undo, we'll go back to what it was. Zoom, if you need to zoom in or zoom out, you can just use this. Headings changes the format, and that helps to keep the formatting consistent as well across the whole document. So don't generally change things with this, change things here. If you don't like what the heading looks like, if you say you want all of your headings to be blue, okay, you come up here to the text color, make it blue, and then here for your heading 1, go here, update heading 1 to match. And now any heading 1, say I want another heading 1, okay, I go here, make that a heading 1, you'll notice here it's already blue, okay, and now down here it's changed the formatting to be blue as well, and it will just keep that consistency for you throughout our document. We also have our bolds, italics, underlines, highlighting here. If you want to link something, so let's say I wanted to send you guys to have a look at Screencastify, I would highlight that. You can click here, and you'll notice that actually, because this is Google, they've straight away searched the internet for something that you might actually be thinking about sending people to. So this is Screencastify's website, and this is Screencastify in the Chrome Web Store as an extension. So if I wanted to send you to the website, I can click here and it will link that for me. But you'll also notice if I delete that, I also have my headings. And so here I can also, when I hyperlink something, I can hyperlink you back to the top of the document. Okay, and so if I click apply now and I go click there, it'll go to the top of the document, and you can do that throughout the whole thing. So that if you want, for example, you could use this to do a choose your own adventure for English or for PDH or for any subject really, and you could have students selecting whether or not they want to open the door or whether they want to go up the stairs. And so if they go up the stairs, they click that button, it'll take them to the heading that says chapter 6 up the stairs. Or if they choose to go open the door, it'll take them to chapter 2, open the door, or anything like that. So just use your headings to then create those links. This is for comments. So if I want to add a comment somewhere, I can just highlight it, click comment, and then I'm going to type in here. Now comments are not saved automatically. You have to actually click the comment button, and then it is commented in the document, and you'll see it will come out like this. And then people will be able to reply, etc. I can edit this because it's mine. But that's essentially what you're going to get there with your comments. This is to insert an image, and again drop down for you to search, etc. These are all your basics. You're very used to these, your spacing, your bullets and dot points. your increasing and decreasing of indents, and then this is for you to clear formatting. Finally, over here on the right, there is my drop down for what mode I'm in. So if I'm editing, suggesting, or viewing. So if I click suggesting, now you'll notice that as I type, see it's got green, and it'll come up and it'll say that I have been adding a paragraph, and then I am writing this for you. And then that is in there as a suggestion. Now, later, someone might come through and click tick. So this is all underlined green at the moment because I entered the paragraph, and then I'm writing this for you. If I click the tick, it'll accept that, and it will then stay there. If I chose not to, okay, if I choose to reject it, it'll delete it, okay, which is very similar to your track changes and stuff that exist in Microsoft Word. And then there's also just viewing, so you can change it so that you're just viewing the document and you can't do anything else to it, which might be if it's a really important document and you're worried you might accidentally press a button that you didn't mean to. That's the setting you want to be in. So click resolve here to remove that. You'll also notice that down the bottom here is the explore button. Now if I click the explore button, it basically allows you to search your documents and the web from inside your Google Doc. And this is embedded throughout everything. This gives me quick access to documents that I might want to link into here, or I might want more stuff from the internet. So for example, if I was trying to reference Hattie's book about visible learning, I can search and it will find, and there's an annotated bibliography in my documents. If I want the web, here's his book, I can get images and I can then insert it. So it makes it really easy for you to do those types of things without having to leave the document. Now finally, over here on the right, we also have our sidebar. Now our sidebar is for the calendar. We have Google Keep in here as well. And we also have tasks to do. So if you don't finish what you're working on in a document, you can easily create a task that just says, remind me to finish this before it's due, and you set your due date, etc. in your tasks. Or if you have something that you need to go and sort out based on what you've been doing in the document, you can put it in a note or anything that you like. Now finally, of course, is the sharing. Up here, a big blue share button, and a very familiar thing that we've seen already as we went through the Drive screen share. You can get a shareable link, you can change the permissions here, you can simply put in the email address, you can click advanced features here, whatever you like for your sharing. That's it as an introduction to Google Docs. Just remember that lots of this is very similar across multiple documents, so I'm not going to show you all the same things in each document, but they are the basics to help get you started in a Google Doc. Now I just wanted to show you before we finish up how you can see version history. And so if we go back over here to our file, you'll see it has version history. So if I want to see the version history, I click here. And that will open it up, and I can see down the right here when things were edited. So this is when it was originally started. So I imported a file and started to change things. And then here I can click on that, it'll drop down, and now I've got all these different edits that are made throughout the document, and I can see the changes too. So if I go here, you can see that the green is the things that have been changed. So it's got lines through it or anything like that. So I may have deleted some things there. The other thing to note too is you can restore the versions. So if I did a mistake or I've stuffed something up or someone else has done that to me, I can go here and restore the old version of the document. And also if I go back here and I want to name a version for easier access, I can click here, name this version, and just make it creation of document. And then I could make this the 2018 version, name today's version 2018. And then if I want to, I can come here and click this, and it will only show me the named versions, which is particularly good if you're using a program, for example, and you're putting your registers over the top of your program in a Google Doc. Using version history will allow you to say, okay, this is the history year 8 program for 2017, and you can use the same document, do all your registers on that document, and make it the registers for 2018, and then you make your new document for the program, and you just name the version program 2019. At the end of the year when the registers are done, it'll be the registers 2019, and you can change that in here without actually creating multiple copies of a document. You're actually just naming version history, which is easy for you to access later, and you can restore them, or you can print those old versions as well. Now obviously version history is also really good for checking on students who are cheating, if they copy and paste large chunks, you can see that come up. It'll just suddenly be a huge paragraph that gets put in there rather than typing slowly. Now, there's also a extension that's called Draftback that you can get, which will turn your version history into a video, and you can click play and watch the document get edited in a sped up version of time. And you can see then if kids have easily copied and pasted stuff into their document, or if multiple people are on that document at the same time and they're not meant to be, whatever it is, though you can find those as well. And you can also, I'm sure, find other add-ons and extensions that will help you to have a look and analyze your version history. Well, that's it for looking at Google Docs. I hope you learnt something, and I hope it gets you started with Google Docs. Next, we're going to be looking at slides.